So for this week, I'm going to be discussing with you guys what my research topic is. So I picked Hurricane Katrina, and I'm going to specifically focus on the effects it had on the aging population. So what was my most effective search terms that brought up the best results on my topic? So the most effective search term that I typed into the advanced search was Hurricane Katrina. A ton of results came up, like 354,439 to be exact. And like we learned from the video, that's a lot and way too many to find good sources and good scholarly articles. So where it says "and," I typed in the aging population. And when I did that, I got 89 results, which is a lot better and a lot easier to go through and pick out ones that fit best with what I want to talk about. I've done a lot of research projects in the past. I've had a research class and a writing class, so I'm pretty familiar with that database and how to work through it. So I found a lot of good articles for my paper and presentation, so that's exciting. If there was a tip I would probably say narrow it down one, because the more specific if your topic's too broad, that's way too hard to write a research paper. And if it's too narrow, it's also hard. So finding a good in between. Don't be afraid to change your topic if you realize, like, I don't know, a quarter way into your research that this isn't going to be a good paper and there's not enough or there's too much. I would say don't be afraid to restart, as annoying as that is. You'll get a better paper for sure. Just read the articles. Read the abstracts if it sounds interesting. Read the articles, skim through it. Don't read it word for sure, because then you'll get way too tired. But just do your research, and research papers are a lot easier to write than you think. So what are the 5 APA citations that I found? I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to say this on a video. I don't think I'm going to read the citation word for word, but I can say the articles that I found. So the first one I found was, "How does accessibility to post-disaster relief compare between the aging and the general population?" So I read the abstract of that, and that sounded like a really good one because, we talk about how it's different for each group of people, and disaster affects people differently. So I'm excited to read the article about how age plays a role in accessibility versus the general population. The second article I found was about older adults and natural disasters, and then it specifically focused on Hurricane Katrina. So I thought that was a really good one too. Aging and disaster, coping in the wake of Hurricane Katrina is the third source that I found, which is perfect because it talks about coping in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, and it focuses on aging and disaster, which is exactly what I'm writing about. And then the fourth one was aging, disaster, mortality, vulnerability, long-term recovery in Hurricane Katrina survivors. And then the last one I found was exploring resiliency factors of older African American Katrina survivors. So I thought it'd be interesting to add a different population to talk about or just read about. And I don't think I really have any questions, just because I've taken classes in the library about using this database, so I feel pretty comfortable and familiar using it. So yeah.